to Raimondi. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
What's up? I heard my name. Thank you, bro.
Whenever ready. When do you actually leave for Australia?
Saturday.
Oh, that's real early. Trying to get acclimated to the time zone?
Time zone, just different. You never know what to expect going to a different country, so just want to head out there, check out the landscape, and just make sure everything's right.
You bring the whole team out there?
Well, bringing my guys from Arizona, Chance for Terrell Hunsinger. I'm also bringing Rafael, of course, and Arthur Estruzula. Another.
For the whole 3 weeks or whatever?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Yeah. Is that expensive?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people don't realize like that when you go to a different time zone or in Mexico City. I know you fought there before.
Yeah.
You have to haul the whole team. It costs money, does it not?
It costs a lot of money.
Yeah. Can you give us a ballpark figure about how much it
It doesn't matter.
But these are necessary steps you need to take.
These are super necessary steps. Yeah, I mean, the UFC only covers my fight week, so I got to cover the other week, and some other expenses as well.
And if you want to be the best Kelvin Gastelum you can be in the fight, you have to take these measures.
Right, I need them. This fight especially is critical. I need my whole team there helping me out. Whatever I need, they help me out, man. Yeah, it's crucial that I bring my whole team.
On The Ultimate Fighter, I think that a lot of people saw more of you. Not just a different side of you, I think, because that side's always been there, but you had the leadership, you had the advice that you were giving Maurice or...
Sure.
You were like kind of the one that was kind of like mentoring these guys.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think that does for, I hate to use the word brand for your brand.
I'm sorry?
How does that do for your profile, the way people look at you?
I don't know, man. I was just being me, you know what I mean? And I was just trying to help these guys out the way that I was helped out, trying to mentor them the way that Chael did and his team, and I kind of just try to implement that, you know what I mean? I in my experience, the way that Chael and his team ran that whole camp for my tough was the way that I try to emulate it for that tough as well, and it worked out great, man. I felt like the whole team environment was just as good as it was in my season, so it worked out great.
Do you think people underestimate they say fight IQ, like how much you know about fighting? Because I think when you came into the UFC, you were, you overran people, but now do you think that there's more to you from the mental game?
Definitely. I mean, I've been fighting in the UFC for 7 years, and there's no other way to be successful than to learn and to grow and to expand your mind and to really just grow and embrace this life. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, man. I wouldn't be fighting for the title. You know what I mean? I would have been down and out.
Has it really been 7 years?
2013?
You're all grown up now.
right before your eyes, right?
What was it like? You went down to Australia. I guess it was a month ago or a month plus ago, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. PR down there. What was it like, kind of being with them? You were with them during the show. You were with them again during the PR thing. Is that weird being in so close proximity to your?
You know what? We had to deal with each other. I mean, he's a pretty civilized guy, and I'm pretty laid back myself. But there's always that little tension, you're gonna fight each other, and it's just like you don't want to be around more than you have to. He was professional, and we did the work that we had to, but didn't want to stay more than we had to together, And when I went to Australia, same, civilized interactions, but nothing more than we had to. You know what I mean? We I don't know. It's just this weird little energy between him and I, because we know we're gonna fight each other.
Right. There was that thing a few months ago that he didn't like that you said about him about he's been through a lot of wars and he may not be the same guy. He was a little bit upset about that. Did he say anything to you when you guys were together?
He's never said anything. No.
Buenas tardes. ¿Cómo te sientes sobre esta pelea que estás peleando en Australia, que son obviamente ambientes diferentes a lo que estás acostumbrado uno? Y si sí, ¿cómo te has preparado para eso?
Bueno, pues la verdad es que he tenido peleas en otros países diferentes. He estado en esta posición donde he peleado contra el peleador de casa, ¿no? Fui a New York, a Long Island, a pelear contra Chris Weidman, literalmente en su casa. Fui a Río de Janeiro a pelear contra Jeandra. Así que esta no es la primera vez que he estado en esta posición donde no voy a ser el favorito, ¿no? Así que me gusta ser el que arruina los planes de otros.
Kelvin, you obviously referenced fighting Chris Weidman in his house, Jeandra in Brazil. What's the biggest thing you took from those experiences in enemy territory that's going to help you in Australia for Whittaker?
Yeah, like I said, I've been in this position before where I'm not the hometown guy. I go out, fought Jeandra in Brazil, in Rio, fought Weidman literally in his backyard in Long Island. Fought in Fortaleza against Vitor. I mean, this is not the first time I've been in this kind of position, and the biggest thing that I take away from it is just that I can thrive in these kinds of environments. You know what I mean? I mean, I lost against Weidman, but I don't mind being under this kind of pressure.
You did video, obviously, in Australia. How did the fans receive you when you saw them out there? And just, you know, they knew you were obviously going to fight their guy, but
Yeah.
how did they treat you?
Yeah, real civilized, real respectful, nothing too crazy. I mean, Australians love fight, and they love the UFC, so it was pretty cool.
Kelvin, when's going to be your time? I mean, you talked about going to New York, the Weidman, Brazil and then obviously now Australia. Just when getting the belt, you could make it to LA, you know.
Title defense will have to be in LA or it'll have to be in Vegas, man, where my family can actually come watch me fight.
I was going to say, you got to get your turn, right, as champ?
That's right, my man.
Well, when you envision the fight and the fight ending by KO, submission, obviously you're well-rounded all around, but like
Yeah.
in your heart of hearts,
Well, I feel like, Rob's not one of those guys that kind of looks for the takedowns. You know, he's not one of those guys that does, and neither am I. Although I do have wrestling abilities, I do have abilities on the ground. We're not two guys that look for that takedown. We're going to look to box, we're going to look to exchange, and we're going to look to knock each other out. So, I'm predicting first round knockout, but you never know.
As a fighter, when you're fighting someone like that, like you said, you're fighting someone who's going to bang with you, is that a little more exciting than kind of having, okay, I got to wrestle this guy?
It's exciting. It's exciting. But at the same time, you can't ever count on just that. You know what I mean? But it's exciting knowing that he's going to want to, exchange. And hopefully it's an exciting fight. I mean, I've been watching Rob for a long time now. Even before he was champion, I was like, this is a guy that's going to be a fun fight for me. And I feel like it's a fight that I can win, that I know I can win. So I still feel the same way.
Going back to his fight with Romero, he took a lot of damage in that fight. You said that maybe seeing someone take a lot of damage, does that give you sort of hope like I can hit this guy, or do you look and think, well, he's got a lot of heart, I'm going to have to really go deep to beat this guy?
It's both, man. You know what I mean? I know that I can, if I clip him, anybody in the world. It's not just Rob. Anybody that I clip my left hand in is going down. But yeah, Rob has a lot of heart, man. I'm expecting a hard fight, but at the same time, I'm so prepared for this opportunity that I'm expecting it not to even be close.
Do you think a fighter can only have so many of those fights before one day they just wake up and the same?
Oh yeah, for sure. Even me, these 7 years have taken a toll on my body, and I've never had those kinds of fights. Jacare was, but not to where I've had like a bloody, messy, gorging fight where I was bleeding. No, I've never had those type of battles where I broke anything, I broke an ankle, or I broke a hand. Thankfully, I've been very, very blessed to be healthy throughout my career.
Sometimes you hear fighters saying they want one of those fights. Do you not? Would you rather avoid them?
I'm sorry?
Sometimes you hear fighters saying they want the war, they want to get in those. Are you trying to avoid that for as long as
Yeah, I was laughing backstage and after my fight with Jacare, just like, oh my God, what a war that was. Even though I wasn't like physically beat up, or I was, but you can see it facially. I was okay. But that was one of the hardest fights that I've ever had. It was just back and forth. I dropped him, then he got up, and then started rocking me, and then I got him. So it was a war, man. I was just backstage like, oh man, that was fun. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it.
Ya que estamos hablando de
Pues la verdad es que me gustaría ganar por knockout. La verdad es que a la gente le gusta ver los knockouts y es lo que quiero dar.
What do you learn about yourself as a fighter, as a person, when you have those knockdown fights like you had with Jacare?
Oh man, a lot. No, not really. Well, to be honest, I learned a lot about myself because I had one of my conditioning coaches begging me to pull out of that fight because just weeks prior to that fight, I had my ankle swelled up like a grapefruit. You know what I mean? And I wasn't able to train on it. Wasn't able to train properly on it for the last few weeks of that camp against Jacare, and he wanted me. One of my coaches wanted me to pull out, but I said no way, man. We're gonna go in there, figure it out somehow. And so I did. You know, I went in there maybe at 70 something, percent. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't in great shape for that fight, and somehow I just managed to pull it out.
Why did you persevere?
Because it's my job. You know what I mean? This is what I do. It's my job.
What did you learn about yourself? Would you say after, or do you think that's something necessary fighters have to go through?
No, not at all necessary. I was just being stupid. But at the same time, you do learn about yourself. You learn that you can adapt to certain situations, and that I have a lot more heart and will than I thought.
Does it give you confidence in going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was me at not even 100%. Now imagine, against Jacare's 100%. Now imagine me at 100% going into this fight. I'm super ready for this fight. Everything's way ahead of schedule. I'm so excited for this opportunity, guys.
How do you envision this one going?
I'm predicting a first round knockout.
You don't often do that. You don't often predict things like that.
No, never.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I put in so much work, and I feel so confident in my abilities and confident in what I've done in the sport that I'm predicting a first round knockout.
Has the long wait been tough? It's been a long time since you fought last. I know the show and everything.
Yeah.
Just like, can we just get this?
I'm tired of talking about Rob Whittaker. Yes, let's get this fight going.
What's going on with you and Ben Askren? You and Ben Askren going back and forth on
Who?
Twitter. Not a fan.
Who's that?
You know,
No,
that with the hair, curly hair. You know,
The Jerry Curls?
maybe.
No, I don't know.
He's
I
taking
think-
shots at you.
Yeah, because I had said something about Tyron Woodley, and then I guess he was trying to defend him.
Is that a fight for you in the future?
Oh. That guy's not even on my radar. I don't even know who he is.
Kelvin, in the co-main event, you've obviously got Israel versus Anderson. One of those could potentially be fighting you for a world title. Are you paying attention to that fight as a future thing, or are you just focused on?
Yo, I'm looking at the whole division. I mean, you got guys like Bohachina, you guys got like Stylebender, you got Rob Whittaker, who's he's still gonna be in the mix. He's not gonna go anywhere after the fight. You know what I mean? And then you still got Yoel Romero in the mix, like the champion of this division. GSP did an interim title, and then So I want to be able to bring the guy, or be the guy that brings the legitimacy to the division.
When you look at Anderson and Israel, would you rather, if you had the choice, would you rather face a young gun like yourself, so you can have both guys in their prime, or would you rather face a future Hall of Famer like Silva?
Shoot, well, the fight with Silva has already been we tried to make it twice. It didn't happen. So and that fight was just the fight for me to be able to get the title shot or get closer up in the ranks, and that's really what I wanted. So fighting Silva doesn't really do anything for me, to be honest, other than him being, a GOAT and me beating the GOAT. That would be the only thing. But as far as moving up the ranks, as far as getting a title shot, beating him, I'm already in the position where I want to be.
Tyron Woodley said, I think earlier this week or last week, that a few more fights at welterweight and then middleweight by the end of 2019. How badly would you want that fight again?
Welcome him. I've been calling him out for years.
Yeah.
I've been wanting that fight since I fought him.
Right.
And finally, he's like, Yeah, he's turning around. All right, it's taking a while, but he's turning around on the idea finally. Huh?
That could be super fight. You know, he's coming up as welterweight champ. You could be the middleweight champ after a few weeks from now.
Yeah,
This could be a big one.
yeah, I welcome it. Let's do it.
Your boxing's been on another level the past few fights. Why do you think your boxing works in a division where you're pretty much the smallest guy in the division, man?
Yeah.
How does it, people would think you should be taking people down.
Yeah, I just figured out how to make my disadvantages into advantages. I'm short, I'm stocky, but fast, and I hit hard.
Do you feel like is it in your head that you're the smallest guy in the division, so to speak? Is
Sure.
So you go into every fight. So what's the mentality versus when you were fighting people that were closer to your size?
It's just a little harder. It's just a little harder to grab these guys and kind of control them a little bit more. But that's why I train hard, man, and I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to hold the job off.
Was it easy to be patient knowing that you're waiting for a title shot? Obviously, you haven't fought in a few months. Or was it difficult when you see your guys like Henry Cejudo put in great performances, Ariel Rodriguez? Was it easy to just step aside and just watch? In terms of like just being on the sidelines, did you get anxious with such a long layoff waiting?
No, not at all. Not at all. Like I said, I had some lingering injuries that I had, and so the time off was actually perfect. I had some things that bothering me since the Tim Kennedy fight. So I was actually glad that I took some time off and took care of these little nagging injuries that I've had for a long time. Man, I'm healthy.
Kelvin, you talked about how you had that ankle injury prior to Sakure in Brazil. That was obviously your contender. You're moving up. You knew that was a big fight that was going to push you closer to a title shot. Being a champion, though, if you were to have the belt in that scenario, you feel that obviously you still want to fight. You still got that fighter in you, but there's a little more at stake. I would say, at that point, is that still kind of the same attitude? No, we're still fighting, or are you kind of, well, I'm the champ, let me. You kind of have people wait for me.
It just depends, man. It just depends on the situation. At that time when that happened, I just felt like I was able to, I was hoping I would be able to get over the injury, but it never really did get over it. But still fought with it, figured it out, and pulled the win out. You know what I mean? Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But it just depends on the situation, man. When I'm champion, like I said, I want to be an active champion. I don't want to be waiting around a whole year just to fight. I want to fight consistently. I want to bring legitimacy to the middleweight division and beat the best guys in this division.
You said that you'd like to fight at welterweight again. Do you still feel that way? Or are you way past wanting to go back to welterweight?
That's always in the back of my head, yeah. That's always in the back of my head. But now my focus is on middleweight, the title, and defending the title.
Kelvin, what would your motivation be to go back to welterweight? Like if you win a world title at middleweight, it would suggest that that's your weight. Why ever go put your body through that?
I'm basically already at 185 right now. Man, I'm so far ahead of schedule in my weight.